Hello everyone and welcome back to Ponderosa North for the love of Bonanza. Today I'm going to focus on the house, that beautiful ranch house. It's really one of the things that really attracted me to the show. I just love that house. And whenever I'm watching Bonanza, I'm always looking for all those little details and all the little bric-a-brac that are scattered about the house. Let's start with the construction of the house though. It's a dovetail log construction. Where the timbers are squared off and dovetailed in the corners, and the chinking would be from local sand, clay mixtures, whatever was locally done. That would be the chinking. Those are those white lines you see between the logs, as opposed to this notched log construction, which is the logs are still rounded and debarked. But yeah, no, it's a dovetail construction of the house. And here it is. I mean, how many times have we seen it? It's really evolved over the years. Sometimes there's trees in the courtyard and hitching posts and so on. Sometimes this structure at the side is a bunkhouse. Sometimes it's storage. Sometimes it's a tool shed. Yeah, ever evolving. Another one of the storm. And of course, this little section here would be Hopsing's kitchen. And there was always this tree that went off onto the roof. Yeah, it was always there. So I took this screen capture of the Mountain Girl, and it gives you a really good lay of the land of the entrance and the dining room. It's sort of open concept. What everybody wants is open concept. I guess they would call this a great room. But all the furniture, a lot of leather furniture, leather topped tables. Ben's desk was leather topped. A lot of these rugs scattered about. It was a very eclectic mix. Those rugs are more Persian than anything. And a lot of the furniture is Victorian. All these chairs, the dining room chairs, very ornate lighting fixtures. A lot of these landscape pictures, but see this chair here is very Victorian. Gabardine tablecloth. Of course, I've talked about the dishware, but lovely painting in the back and storm shutters and red velvet drapes. And the art direction, you got to hand it to those guys, Hal Pereira and Earl Hendrick, and set direction by Sam Comer and Grace Gregory. They really got into the details, that's for sure. The most attractive thing to me is this fireplace. Look at the size of that thing. And the Texas Longhorns at the top. This is a Victorian sort of settee. And a lot of these Remington-esque statues about. Of course, these rocks would have been local. Another one of the furnishings and the leather. And this, you know, the crystal decanters of brandy. They often would say, you need a brandy? We need a brandy. Get some brandy. The staircase that was sort of went to nowhere, but this is sort of the Native American touch in the house, hung over the banister there. That was broken many times, and of course a lot of these landscape paintings about. What else have I got here? I'll show you this one because in the back, going towards Hopsing's kitchen, is this sort of shelf with all this kind of extra glassware and silverware and what, you know, it's just incredible the detail they went to. I'll show you this again. This just shows these Victorian type chairs there in the dining room. What else have I got here? I love this. I always love Ben's leather chair, and there's sort of a close-up of the settee. It was very placed right in the center. Here's the entrance. They had a great entrance, but you can see that chinking between the logs, and you know, a nice kindling box there, and they always had a rocking chair out front, a couple of chairs out front. Never really saw them sit in it, but at the bottom of the stairs was this gun rack, and it held some books too, but it was mostly their rifles. There's another, you can see that Remington sculpture. Upstairs is anybody's guess. There were a few shots of them upstairs. Obviously, there were 4 bedrooms for the 4 guys, but they had a lot of guests, and they would bring them in. And this is your room. Sometimes there was a room downstairs off of the dining room that was used as an extra room. Sometimes not. The bedrooms were often not consistent. Sometimes this was Adam's room, very sort of ornate headboard there, and sometimes this was Adam's room. So it was not really consistent. And Joe's and Haas's room were the same. They weren't really consistent. Haas had some paintings of sailboats in his room, and Joe's room had a lot of sort of things he would have picked up as a kid, like Indian arrowheads and things like that. It was quite interesting. This is Ben's office with the wood-burning stove here. These are captain's chairs. There's a lot of sort of nods to nautical things as well. I think I have a picture here of, maybe not, of scrimshaw. There's this piece of scrimshaw behind on Ben's sort of bookcase there. All these little tiny details, they're really quite fascinating. And then the entrance to the house, you've got the grandfather clock, and of course this sort of famous sideboard where they throw their stuff, and more of these landscape paintings. There's Joe with his feet on the furniture again. Another one with Joe with feet on the furniture. But look at the andirons. Just gorgeous. Look at the size of those things. They would have put off a lot of heat. The famous bowl of apples that were always there. And they'd often play checkers and things there. Hop Sing's kitchen. You know, hams hanging and meat hanging, and you know, it looked like quite an outfitted kitchen. But again, all the details, I mean, you got to scope in on them, and it's just amazing the amount of detail. Outside on the porch, they spent a lot of time out there. There's that tree that sort of climbs onto the porch, onto the roof. The little picnic table out there on the porch, and a little close-up of them out there. Always had little pots of flowers on the ledges there. Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful house. So when you're watching Bonanza, you can look for all those little pieces. Look in the background. You'll be surprised, you know, in Ben's office and in Joe's room, and look at all those little details. They really put a lot of effort into those little tiny details. Like I said, it was a very eclectic mix of furnishings, mostly European. There were some native sort of local things too, but not very much. It was mostly European furnishings in the house, and a lot of sort of Ben's history, his gun collection, and yeah, I really love looking in the background and seeing what they have to offer and little peeks into their history. So that's it for today. So take a look at the house, and we'll see you next time on Ponderosa North. For the love of Bonanza, please like and subscribe. Bye for now.